I'm starting to work on the fuel system, and thanks to Mike Coles for this recommendation. This little bit of circuitry is an if this do that. So if the engine isn't running, your electric fuel pump will stop, and all this for just $16. I've put it together here first to see how it works, and I've got a positive lead going here and another lead going to a relay, which would be like the pump. From here it has an earth, and from this side it goes back to the coil. So when I connect the positive lead, the LED turns on and the pump turns on for 1 second and then cuts out because it's not getting a signal back. I'll be installing the rear fuse box in this location. It will stay dry and out of the way of the wheel. I was quite limited what I could find, and this was the best one for that area. It has relays you put in this location here, and you can also put fuses on the left. However, I'm going to change the design and use a fuse on the actual relay itself, and then on the left here I'm going to put a block. I'll be installing a Bluetooth amplifier, and this one also has an SD card slot, a USB slot, some controls, treble, bass and so on. And then on the back here you've got enough for 4 speakers, Bluetooth antenna, power, FM antenna and input. And from power on, it only takes 6 seconds to connect to my phone. The amplifier is quite small, so it fits right in the corner there, out of the way of the tyre. I'll be installing 3 relays. One of them does the circuitry and the other one does the pump. I'm testing the relays by putting this wire onto the positive terminal. This will engage the circuitry, which will then engage the other relay which does the fuel pump, and I can see that on the multimeter. And then when it's mounted in the car, I'll connect this side to the coil. And now to connect the battery. Connecting the lead to the coil, turning on the ignition, and you'll see that the light turns on. Then connect the fuel pump back to the relay. So turning on the ignition again, I can see the light is on and I can hear the pump working as well, and then turn off. I've also installed a key switch because there's no way of turning this on and off without the key, and this will bypass the circuitry to always work with the ignition instead. The fuel tank has been open the entire time, so I thought it'd be a good idea to have a look with a camera, and we're all clear. I'm filling up the tank with 15 litres of 98 unleaded, and putting the fuel neck on to stop some of the fumes. And now looking under the car for any fuel leaks, because the last thing I want is a fire. I'm turning on the fuel bypass, and this will make the fuel flow without stopping. I'm using a small container here to catch the fuel from the pump. I'm now ready to bleed the clutch. I'm going to fill up the reservoir. I just need the seat installed so I can pump the clutch. Pumping the clutch, and I can see the oil is coming into the container. And after 2 refills, the clutch is now bled, and then this happened. So now I need to clean up all this oil and then have a look at the slave cylinder. But next time. The gearbox gets oil and I look at the slave cylinder.